Welcome to a brand new episode of Johnson's Court. Today I'm excited because I've got Beagle back on my channel, not only with Beagle, but I got Rio as well, so it's a full playlist today.
What's up, y'all? What's good?
So let me turn the volume up, just make sure it's up all the way. So we're going to go straight into it because we're on Zoom, so I only have 30 minutes. So hopefully it's under 30 minutes. If not, we'll get right back onto it. No worries there. But so Beagle, you went an even record of 8-8 last week, 500. Rio, you went 9-7, and then I had the best record. Somehow I don't know how, but I went 11-5.
Nice.
So
That was Christmas miracle.
Christmas miracle. Hey, I'm trying out here. So we'll start with you, Rio. You are at a total of 58 wins, 31 losses, and 1 tie. Beagle, you come in at 139 wins, 99 losses, and 2 ties. And then I come in at 128 wins, 110 losses, and 2 ties. How are you guys feeling going into the last 2 weeks of the season?
I mean, it would be kind of cool if I somehow stayed underneath 100 wins, but I know that's not going to happen. So, ended at 99, but I'm pretty good, feeling all right. I'm pretty good, struggling the past couple of weeks, but it can end strong.
Absolutely. What about you, Rio?
I'm feeling good. I'm kind of evening out a little more. Kind of losing my gorgeous winning record a little bit. And Riley, you're kind of pulling away from the even. You're kind of getting a little more of a winning record trend. So,
hey, I'm just trying to do what we can. I think Beagle set a perfect Christmas miracle. So we'll just see what happens over the next 2 weeks. Obviously, we'll have a regular season record, and then we'll have a playoff record, and then I'll bring all those records together and see what we finish with the year, which is going to be really cool. So here we go, guys. Just kind of like we did last week, going into like the NFL segments is kind of what I want to call it. So Beagle, we're going to start with you first. Now, Beagle brought this idea up, and he wanted to talk about, so I'm going to give him the floor. Beagle, what did you want to talk about this week on your NFL segment?
Well, as of this past week, the Jacksonville Jaguars, led by Trevor Lawrence, have now taken first place in the AFC South. And what I'm talking about is I really want to see Trevor Lawrence make his playoff debut along with Justin Herbert. So we got to see what they're coming up playing this week. Who do the Jaguars play this week?
The Jaguars. Yep. Mm-hmm.
They play the Texans, and that's a pretty winnable game right there. Even though the Texans just got their second win, I feel like Trevor Lawrence has been zoning in lately. So I do not know the specific area, but I know if they will make it. So they'll just have to see who they play week 19. They play the Titans.
Yep.
It's going to come down to that right there. But I want to see Trevor Lawrence make the playoffs. I feel like it's very, very plausible.
Absolutely. I'll go ahead and give my opinion a little bit, and then Rio, I'll let you go. So I know I talked about this 2-3 weeks ago. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to make it into the playoffs. I kind of said it. I think they're going to win outright, and they beat the Jets on Thursday Night Football. They come in. There's a very winnable game, like you said, versus the Houston Texans. Somehow they got their second win over the Tennessee Titans. And then Derrick Henry is also hurt. Maybe, I'm not sure if he's playing this week, next week, so fantasy owners, watch out there. But then, they do play the Texans in Week 18, and that's also a winnable game as well. So, personally, I would love to see him make his playoff debut as well because, he played well at Clemson. And, you always want to see those quarterbacks who do really well in college, at least have some kind of success in the NFL and make it to playoffs to get some more experience. Even if they don't win a Super Bowl, at least they have that experience to say, hey, I went to the NFL playoffs. So, Rio, what do you have to say about Trevor Lawrence?
dude, I mean, I think he came out and proved a lot of haters wrong. I think that he's taken one of the teams that I believe that they've never won a Super Bowl. I think that he's given a lot of fans hope for the future. He's got a pretty good receiving wide receiver in Jones, I think is his name. And so, yeah, dude, they're just doing awesome. I think that you had some really hot takes over them this season. I know you've been riding with them, so it's good to see that they're doing good. And I think that the future is bright for the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was just going to get it.
Absolutely. So now we'll kind of talk about, Rio, I know you kind of had 2 points on here, so we'll go with your first one. And we'll talk about the Raiders. So go ahead and kind of break us down a little bit, why you want to talk about the Raiders.
Well, the Raiders, man, so they're going to be benching Carr. They're thinking about benching Carr the last 2 games. And they are just not knowing the uncertainty of their future. At first, I was just thinking, oh, maybe it's just to rest him, just so he doesn't get hurt the last 2 games, because they haven't had the best season. They've always been screwing up our records on our picks. And so, so I was just wondering, if y'all thought that he should be benched, or if there should be any doubt in Carr at all. I feel like I've been watching him this season. He's been connecting with Adams. I know Beeks has been liking that. So, what do you guys think about Carr and the future of the Raiders?
Big, I'm gonna let you go ahead and speak first on this. What do you think?
Well, I think Adams is 5 in receiving yards, so I feel like now that it's going to probably take a dip down since they don't have that connection with who's starting for who's their backup right now.
Jared Stidham.
Yeah, I know that's going to be some big shoes to fill right there. But I don't know. I know he's going to be a free agent this year too. I know he's going to be in part of that market of quarterbacks. Do you think that he might leave?
Go ahead, Rio.
If it would be on his own, I feel like if he left, it would probably be from a trade situation.
Honestly, if he becomes, if you correct, I haven't looked up, if he's a free agent after this offseason, and if he is, I think he walks. Just with everything that he's been going through the past, couple of seasons, not performing to expectations, and then with John Gruden and everything that went on with that situation, and then now where he is currently in his NFL career, I think he does walk. I think he just needs a fresh start, and I guess the Raiders kind of thought, oh, if we bring in Devontae Adams, we'll be just fine. But obviously, if you're going to bench Derek Carr, Devontae Adams isn't going to want to be there because he said today that he's only there because of Derek Carr. So, we definitely are going to see, a different kind of, I don't know. The AFC West is just going to, we thought it was going to be the best division this year, and it was one of the worst. So that just really sucks.
Absolutely true. They've been disappointing this year.
Just such a flop.
It was. Now we're going to go on to Derrick Henry. Rio, I know you want to talk about this a little bit. He is doubtful to play this Thursday versus Dallas. How much does that going in affect the Tennessee Titans and making the playoffs? And how does that affect them going in for fantasy owners as well?
Yeah, dude, I know a lot of people probably picked him with their first pick. And as far as the Titans, they're fighting for the against the Jaguars for that top spot. If you win your division, then you're guaranteed a playoff spot, or at least a chance to fight in there. And so I just feel like he's that team. He's their heart and soul, and it's rough having an injury for him. I know that it's up in the air, so it could be one game. Hopefully it's just one game. If it is more than one game, I feel like they have something to be scared of, and then the Jaguars will complete your prophecy, Riley.
Absolutely. What about you, Beagle?
Well, yeah, he's basically I feel like their only hope for the playoffs right now, and they're going into playing the Cowboys this week, and if he doesn't play, Cowboys come out for a dominant win. And the Titans have been losing. I think they're on like a 4-game skid or something like that. So they already don't have the momentum, and if their best players out, it's not looking good. That's just going to increase the Jaguars' chance, like you said, the prophecy will come true.
Absolutely. I think it definitely hurts all the fantasy owners. It definitely hurts the Tennessee Titans, and obviously we can talk about AFC South and just kind of something that I figured it was going to be between the Titans and the Colts, obviously, and then the Colts, did what they did. They're as bad as the Houston Texans. So, you would love to see, Derrick Henry into the playoffs and see what they can do. But, it's the Jaguars' time to get there. So, super excited, to when you see one team, almost, hopefully make the playoffs with the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans not make the playoffs. It's like all that sucks because there's great players on both sides, but not everybody can make it into the playoffs. So, whew. This leads me into our final segment before our picks. Now, I'm gonna go last on this because I want to get your guys' opinions first. But there are two divisions that have no teams eliminated from playoff contention yet. And we're going into week 17. Normally when the NFL season would end would be this week, but we added a week, so we're going to week 18. Now, with that being said, it's the AFC East with the Bills, the Dolphins, the Patriots, and the Jets. And then it's the NFC East with the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Giants, and the Commanders. Now, it's the east side somehow is just, better than the west side. I just made that joke. I didn't mean anything by it. But, what does that just say about the AFC East and the NFC East, going into week 17, not having one team even eliminated from playoff contention? Beagle, I'll let you go first here.
Well, everyone's just been going off, and it's just really close. And the fact that the Cowboys and Eagles are right now, since they both drew, they both just going to come down to who's going to get the most wins, and the whole East is just going off right now. Even the Commanders have been playing great lately. It's just crazy, man. It's just going to come down. It's just going to get. I'm glad they added an extra week because we're going to need it to decide who's going to come out on top.
Absolutely. Rio, what's your opinion here?
Yeah, so I definitely agree with Biggs, and I feel like they definitely don't want to be. They definitely don't want to share this year. They don't want any playoff spots up for grabs for any other divisions. They're trying to all get a spot in there. However, I feel like there is really only probably 3 actual contenders out of that bunch, being the Bills, Eagles, and the Cowboys. I still think that's crazy that 3 out of those 2 divisions, could possibly win the Super Bowl. And so I know the NFC East is definitely exceeding expectations. The AFC East, I would even say that I think that the Dolphins and Bills aren't really exceeding. I think that everyone thought that they were going to be good, but the Patriots and the Jets definitely exceeding expectations.
Absolutely, man. I kind of like how you phrase that, saying that they exceeded expectations because, the Patriots and Jets, I didn't really think, they were going to, put too much of a fight. I know Bill Belichick obviously was going to, so I expected that a little bit. But then with the NFC East, the Cowboys are going to give you a fight, and the Cowboys are going to as well. But the Giants and Commanders, I'm not going to lie, I wrote them off week 1. I was just like, yeah, Barkley's coming back, but what are they going to do? I was like, the Commanders have Carson Wentz. What are they going to do? But then, Taylor Heineke has been playing lights out. He's been playing really well. So he's put him in a spot, to still be in playoff contention. Blowing up the whole front office with the Giants, that was a great move of what they did. And with Barkley and everybody, just playing really well. It really makes the Eagles and Cowboys have to play even harder. So I think my favorite division this year would be the NFC East just because all 4 teams are still in it. Yes, when you look at the AFC East, yes, all 4 teams are in it. But realistically, I think the only team that really gives the Bills a fight are the Dolphins.
Yeah, and that's just going to depend on Tua's health, really, at this point.
You are correct about that, Beagle. You couldn't have said that any better. So, yeah, just kind of want to talk about, how two divisions have 4 teams in contention, which is really cool to see going into Week 17. So, there's that. Now we go into our picks of the week. This is my funnest part. This is the best part. I could use all the coolest words in the world to describe this part just because it's so much fun picking. But we're going to start with Thursday Night Football, which is tomorrow, obviously. And it's the Cowboys versus the Tennessee Titans. Now, Rio, I'm going to let you go here first just because you brought up Derrick Henry a little bit earlier. And tell me, do the Cowboys ride off into the sunset, or do the Titans and their rookie quarterback, Malik Willis, give the Cowboys, a little bit of a fight in the first half?
I think that they definitely give them a fight. I think that I know that it's at Tennessee, so, they're definitely going to be having an advantage at home. I think if Henry plays or not, the Cowboys got the win. Because I think if Henry plays, they're probably going to have him on management. They're probably going to be watching his hip because they do not want this man to go down long term at all. I would definitely be cautious if I were them. However, they're fighting for that playoff spot. I don't know if they want to sit back this week, watch what the Jaguars do, and then kick it up next week. But I got the Cowboys for this one.
All right. What about you, Beagle?
Yeah, I feel like this is a must-win for the Titans, but Cowboys' defense is just so good right now. Micah Parsons is playing out of his mind, and it's just they're going against a pretty solid secondary, a rookie quarterback. You don't know what to expect. They do got the home field advantage, like you said, but yeah, I think just the Cowboys.
Absolutely. I think the Cowboys are too much as well, and so we're all going to pick Cowboys here first. But it's not to say that the Titans won't give them a fight, but at the same time, I think you said it best, Rio. They don't want Derrick Henry to get hurt, and they're like, you know what? I think they're probably going to rest him and not play him just for him to get a little bit healthier. And if they can push, obviously, when they play the Jaguars next week, I think that'll be their best bet to make the playoffs. But I think they're going to play safe this week. So we're all riding Cowboys, and we're riding off into the sunset. Then you've got Sunday at 1 o'clock. You've got the Arizona Cardinals coming in and playing the Atlanta Falcons. This is a battle of the birds. Beagle, who you going with?
Two below teams. The Cardinals did give Buccaneers a good fight last week, and I'm going to roll with the Cardinals on this one.
All right, what about you, Rio?
I like the pick. Can't hate it. I'll go on the other side of the fence. I'll do the Falcons. I know James Conner, we don't know if he's going to play because he's dealing with an illness, but I'm liking the Falcons defense this year. They don't have the best record to put with it, but I just feel like they might have the pieces to go against the Cardinals, who I think they're starting Colt McCoy again.
Possibly, probably.
So write me down for the Falcons for this one.
All right. So, as sad as it is to hear, all great things have to come to an end. And that is true with J.J. Watt. He announced his retirement on social media. He will be retiring, which, hats off to that guy. He was one of the hardest working defensive ends, players in the league, going through injuries, suffering through injury, playing through injuries, coming back from injuries, in a timely manner that didn't even make sense because he should have been out longer. So hats off to that guy right there. But I just think the Falcons are going to play a little bit better and fly just a little bit higher. So I'm rolling Falcons as well. Do you got anything to say about J.J. Watt, Beagle?
I mean, he was pretty good. He was a great generational player. I know 2014 at that 24 year where he would go. He caught some touchdowns too and was just dominant. I know there's that phrase J.J. Swatford was pretty coined for a minute. Just one of three players that have a DPOY, 3 DPOYs in their career, so that's pretty impressive right there. First ballot Hall of Fame that we've seen him kick.
Absolutely. Then you come in with another 1 o'clock game. It's the Miami Dolphins versus the Patriots. Now, it's reports that Tua is in concussion protocol. He may not even play this Sunday. And if he doesn't play, their backup's Teddy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think Teddy would be able to step in and play pretty well. Mac Jones is, decent. Their backup is undefeated so far. So even if he starts instead, I think this is going to be a closer game than what a lot of people realize. And man, those divisional games coming down at the end of the year are definitely harder to pick for sure. But I think even if Tua doesn't start, I think Teddy Bridgewater gets it done. So I'm going Dolphins here. What do you got here, Rio?
I like your pick, man. I can't hate it. I'm going to go ahead and pick I'm going to pick the Patriots on this one. I feel like them boys down in Miami are going to be cold up in Gillette.
All right.
We got Tua not playing. I know that Teddy's no Shad, but I feel like the Patriots are hungry. I know that the Dolphins are hungry, man, but I feel like they need Tua to light that fire for the whole team. And I feel like the Patriots get the dub. And if they do get the dub, their records will be tied. And I think that if the Patriots get the win and they're tied, that the Patriots will flip, and the Patriots will be in the
Wild
in the
card.
hunt instead of in the
Or in the
bubble.
hunt. Okay. All right, I like that. I like your reasoning a lot, and you gave great reasoning. Beagle, I gave a side, Rio gave a side. What's your side?
I'm going to go with the Sins on this one. I know Teddy Bridgewater is definitely one of the better backups in the league. Going to be he can still link up with Tua and Waddle, and I know it's going to be on the road, but I'm going to roll with Teddy. I'm putting a trust in Teddy Bridgewater.
Putting a lot of trust in Teddy. Then you've got the Saints versus the Eagles. Now this comes with a quarterback issue here with Jalen Hurts maybe not playing, and that's not necessarily a bad thing in the case of resting him even a little bit longer for the playoffs, because they know they're going to make the playoffs even if they don't get the number one seed, or if they don't clinch a division, or whatever it is. They at least know they're going to make the playoffs. But Gardner Minshew, it was his first start in a while versus a great defense. I watched that game on Saturday night, I believe it was, and it was a great game. It was phenomenal. It just came down to the end, where the Cowboys defense just got the best of them, and they didn't win. But I think the Eagles, should win this game with Garner, and I'm riding with the mustache man. Let's go Eagles. Beagle, who you got here?
We're riding with the Minshew magic. It's a home game. He did play very well against the Cowboys. The 2 interceptions were just great plays by Dallas.
Yep.
I know since they changed the format of the playoffs, our first round bye is definitely very valuable, and I know they'll be playing for that bye because the Cowboys are right underneath them getting the win against the Titans. Everyone's gonna be important, so that's one.
All right. What about you, Rio?
Yeah, man. You guys covered all the good bases. I feel like even with Jalen Hurts out, the Eagles still got an amazing team. I feel like they're all playing into the system, and that they're all just trying to get another Super Bowl. The hardest out of almost any team. So I just feel like the Saints, they couldn't do anything probably to upset this week.
So we're all riding with the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Then you've got the Colts coming in and playing the Giants. Nick Foles had a terrible week on Monday Night Football. There's actually a lot of people that went to the game here in Indiana, which was kind of funny. But I don't even know what to say. I'm just going Giants here. What about you, Rio?
Yeah, man, Giants, the Colts, I don't think they have much hope for anything this season, at least. And the Giants, they're definitely fighting there in the hunt. They're trying to they're probably not going to ever clinch the division, just because the Cowboys and the Eagles got it locked up. But, they're trying to just keep their playoff spot at least. And so I feel like the Giants come in and take care of business.
What about you, Beagle?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Giants too. Colts just been kind of abysmal lately, and say the Giants are hungry, looking for that wild card spot. Cowboys and Eagles just too far ahead. They're going to be looking for that 6 or 7 seed. So I feel like this is going to push them towards that.
Absolutely. No, I think this game is the 1 o'clock game. It's the Panthers versus the Bucks. I'll get my reasoning here in a second, but I want to let you guys go first. So Beagle, go ahead. Let me know. Do you got the Panthers, or do you have the Buccaneers and Tom Brady?
I feel like this is a great game right here. Both teams are hot right now. Panthers have been playing good, and Tom Brady with a OT win. It is in Tampa Bay. I feel like the Panthers low-key could get this is the upset of the week. I'm going to go with the Panthers upsetting Tom Brady.
All right, I like that. What about you here, Rio?
I like it, man, and I can see the potential for this being one of those upset games. But I'm going to have to stick it with Tom. I feel like he's wanting to fight for that playoff spot too much. And the Panthers, They are hot, but they don't have as much hope. So give me the Bucks on this one.
All right, all right. Hey, I think this is upset of the week as well, and I'm going Panthers as well. And the reason why is because they're just a hotter team. They have nothing to lose entirely. Tom Brady has it all to lose. He's fighting for his life, his career, I feel like. I know people have been asking him in the press conferences, you considering retirement, what's going on? And he's just like, nope, I'm going to play another season, this or that. And it's just like, you can't play forever. You're not a robot, man. Like, you're human, you're made to break down. So I think the Panthers are just a younger, better team. They went through 3 quarterbacks who should have been starting Sam Darnold in the first place, if you ask me. The receivers are just hot right now, and that's why I'm going Panthers here. I just think they have it more put together to beat Tom Brady and the Bucks.
2 upsets.
I'm passionate about the Panthers. Then you've got the Broncos coming in playing the Chiefs. I paused for a reason. Let's go Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs.
You guys both said Chiefs? There's not much to say there. Not much to say. All right. Then we've got the Bears coming in and playing the Lions. I'm going to let you go last on this one. The Bears... Justin Fields is playing well. He had, I think, 100 and some yards versus the Bills, so he's going for that rushing record, obviously. But I think that all right, we're running out of time. I think we have like 5 minutes left. But here we go. The Lions, I really thought they'd make the playoffs, and I really thought they'd make a push for it, but then they lost to the Panthers last week, which are a hot team. And with that being said, I just don't think that the Lions can just keep it going, so I'm going Bears here. What about you, Rio?
I'm gonna go Lions. I'm gonna go with a little safer bet. I know Justin Fields is rushing out of his mind, but I'm gonna go ahead and go to the Lions. They're fighting for that playoff spot. The Bears, I guess they could squeak in. No, or
I'm pretty sure they're eliminated.
Okay, are they eliminated? So I just feel like besides just getting some experience and getting some chemistry, they got no reason to win. So give me the Lions on this one.
All right, Beagle, let me hear it.
Well, I know Justin Fields is about, I think he's much under 200 yards-ish.
Yeah.
From about the games left. So I know since they eliminated, that's probably all on his mind. I know the last time they played, it was a close game, and he ran all over him last time, so I feel like he's just going to repeat it right here. Yeah, submission.
Exactly. So I knew he was going to go the Bears. I'm going to end this Zoom call real quick, invite you guys back, and then I'm going to go ahead and give my opinion for the next game. Think about it. The Browns versus the Washington Commanders. So the Browns are playing the Washington Commanders. It's at the Commanders. Now, the Commanders don't know who they're going to start at quarterback. Ron Rivera has even said he likes Taylor Heineke, but at the same time, he still does like Carson Wentz. I know he's coming back from that injury that he had, but they just don't know who they want to start. Personally, me, I'm going with Taylor Heineke. I think he's the better quarterback in this matchup, but, Deshaun Watson and the Browns, they're playing pretty well right now, or at least playing better. So I personally think it's kind of a hard one. I think this can be a toss-up between the Browns and Commanders, but I'm going to ride with the Commanders here, and I think they keep their playoff hopes alive. All right, they're back. Beagle, what you got? You got the Browns or you got the Commanders?
Browns lost a close one last week. It was pretty against the Saints. It was a pretty good game. Commanders. I'm going with the Browns on this one. I feel like Nick Chubb has still been playing excellent. Deshaun Watson, even though he don't play, he's still getting used to everything still. But Nick Chubb will carry the weight.
Absolutely. What you think here, Rio?
Man, this is another one of those games that I do see being an upset, so I could side with Beagle, but I feel like I picked two risky ones. So I'm going to go with Commanders, keep the playoffs hopes alive. Yeah, man, enough said. I know that the Bills running backs are scary, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the Commanders on this one. They're hot.
Absolutely, absolutely. So then you've got the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Houston Texans. Now, obviously, the Jaguars, if they win out, they win the AFC South, and I personally believe that they can do that. I think this game starts off a little rough for the both of them, but then I think the Jaguars get it back on track, and I think they win at least by 7 points. So I'm going Jaguars here. Who do you got here, Rio?
Yeah, man, Jags. They just got way more weapons. Just Texans got a good running back, but the Jags, they just got they got their own good running back. They got a pair of good running backs. James Robinson's healthy, and then they got Jones. They got Lawrence. They have a decent middle linebacker. So I think the Jaguars are going to keep their playoff hopes alive and beat the Texans.
Absolutely. What do you got here, Beagle?
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. With the Jaguars, has just been leading the way and playing pretty solid, and all of his receivers involved. Stepped it up. So yeah, give me the Jaguars.
All right, we're going Jaguars here. That rounds up our 1 o'clock games. Then you go into our first 4 o'clock game. You've got the 49ers versus the Raiders. Now, with benching Derek Carr, I think the 49ers have this one pretty easy, and it just helps them, move up on their playoff chances of, getting closer to that number 1 seed. So I think the 49ers here are going to play pretty well. Brock Purdy's playing pretty well. And give me the 49ers. What do you think here, Beagle?
Give the 49ers in this one. I know benching Derek Carr is going to definitely shift their offense a little bit. And this 49ers defense has just been real productive all year, linked by Bosa. And Prudy's been playing phenomenal. Definitely Mr. Relevant has made them relevant. So give me 49.
Are you going to agree with us, Rio, or are you going to pick the other side of the coin?
I'm agreeing with you, man. First of all, the Raiders, they lost my trust just as much as they lost y'all's. So that's one reason. Also, even if Carr was playing, man, I still feel like I got the 49ers. I feel like they're pretty good, set for the future. They got the defense. They got receivers. They got running backs. They got kind of their pick of quarterback that they can kind of shuffle through. I feel like they're trying to go with Purdy right now mainly, but yeah, man, the 49ers.
Absolutely. So we're rolling with the 49ers here. Then you've got the Jets coming in and playing the Seattle Seahawks. Now, Rio, go ahead and give me your opinion on this. Do you got the Jets? Can they beat the 12th man, or I don't know. Does Geno Smith, get back on track a little bit? What you think?
So, man, I feel like the Jets got this one. These records are tied. The Jets have been impressing us all year. The Seahawks, they traded away Russ. They also been impressing us all year. And so I just feel like the Jets are going to put it together. I feel like Knight's going to have a good game in the run game. I just feel like Seattle's just not going to be able to put it together offensively to beat the Jets.
All right. What do you think here, Beagle?
This is another good game right here, I feel like. I know Geno Smith's definitely proved a lot of people wrong, like you said. And they got potential. These are the two potential offensive rookie years going at it with Wilson, Walker. I know the 12th man is a hard place to go win at. And I know the Jets have been having a problem with their quarterback situation late. Give me a Seahawks on this one.
So you said it perfect, and that's exactly where I was going to go. Is the Jets are having quarterback issues? They don't know if they want to move on from Zach Wilson. They don't know if they just want to think that he can get it together. Joe Flacco is still in that mix. Obviously, Mike White's in there, but I think the Seahawks have a little bit more figured out, shaped out for them. Especially being this late in the year, you need to have your team figured out. So I'm going Seahawks as well. Now, this game right here is my 4 o'clock game of the week. It's the Minnesota Vikings coming in and playing the Green Bay Packers. Now, Beagle, I'm going to let you go first here because I know how much you love and hate Aaron Rodgers. So lay it down for me.
Well, I know their playoff hopes are increasing. They're home at Lambeau. Vikings definitely whooped them earlier this year. Vikings have just been really impressive for no reason. It's not a 1 o'clock game, so that is one thing to note. But Aaron Rodgers has been playing so, even despite them winning, his individual performance has kind of been below average. And give me the Viking upset.
Rio, I know how much you've talked about the Vikings and gave them high praise this year. Do you think they have what it takes to beat Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau?
So I got some family members. I got a cousin and her husband, or her fiance, that will be watching this game because they are diehard fans of the opposite teams. Their house is like, it's a line in the middle, and the Packers on one side, the Vikings on the other. So this is a rivalry, and definitely in their house. You know what, man? I don't know if Rodgers is going to play. He's had some knee and thumb issues, but he says he's going to play. The trainers say that he shouldn't play and that he's not going to play. So I want to pick the Packers, man, and I feel like I would if I knew Aaron Rodgers was going to start, because the Vikings, they've been the one to drop. They've been one of the best teams, I think, this year to drop some games to people.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm going to go with Vikings just to be safe because I don't know if A-Rod's playing. But it's going to be a great game. I agree with y'all about that. It's going to be a dogfight.
And I love how we were all able to kind of give our opinions a little bit and bounce off each other because you said it great when you were like, sometimes the Vikings have just been dropping the ball in games, like when they played the Colts, and I was like, when you see the Colts play the way the Colts been playing, and then they put up 33 points and they're winning 33-0, and then the Vikings come back all the way to win, it's just like, I don't even know what to think of games like that, especially when it's the Vikings and when it's a trash team this year like the Colts. Just things like that shouldn't happen. So that's the only thing that scares me going into a game like this. If Aaron Rodgers plays, I think it's more Packers win this game than the Vikings. But at the same time, the Vikings know how to win games. But it's just Kirk Cousins has to show up for this game. And so I'm going Vikings here as well. But we'll just see what kind of teams we get in Week 17. So that's all I got to say on that. Then you've got the Los Angeles Rams coming in and playing the Chargers. Beagle, the Chargers are going to make their playoff debut. Justin Herbert, he's going to make. They beat the Colts on Monday night. Now, do you think that the Chargers continue and carry this momentum over into the next week?
I feel like they do. They've been getting healthy at the right time. Herbert's been playing great. But you can't count the Rams out. Baker Mayfield's been put 50 piece on Christmas.
Yeah, what was that all about?
That just shows that he's connected with that offense and playing good. But I feel like they're going to be on the road. I'm going to give it to the Chargers on this one.
Absolutely. What do you got here, Rio?
Man, I wish that, obviously I know y'all do too, but I wish that every team was healthy. And this would be such a good game if the Rams were healthy and had Cup, just had all their pieces that they wanted to have. But yeah, I'm gonna do the Chargers, man. Even if they lose like this one, I still feel like it's gonna be 2 weeks before they're gonna be in trouble of getting out of the playoffs. Just because the record right now, and they're fighting against like the Jags, the Dolphins. It depends on what they're gonna do. So yeah, give me the Chargers. I'll side with y'all.
All right. I'm going Chargers as well, just because yes, the Rams put up a 50 piece on Christmas, but it was to the Denver Broncos, and Russell Wilson just didn't play well and just hasn't been playing well. And you said it really good as well, Beagle. They're getting healthy at the right time, and that's very crucial. Especially going into the playoff time. So I'd love to see that Justin Herbert's going to make his playoff debut, so we're super excited for him and to see what he can do. Then on Sunday Night Football, you've got the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Baltimore Ravens. Now this game was originally, I don't know what time it was scheduled for, but a different game was here on Sunday night, and this game got moved to it. I'll go ahead and give you my opinion here. I don't know if Lamar Jackson is playing. Do you guys know if Lamar Jackson is playing or not?
I don't know.
Because that definitely makes a huge difference is if he is or if he isn't. Doesn't matter who you put at QB for the Steelers. It could be Trubisky. It could be George Pickens. It doesn't really matter. Or Kenny Pickett, my bad. Can you guys look up real quick if Lamar's playing or not?
He missed today's practice
Okay.
completely.
If he doesn't play, I'm obviously, as much as I don't want to pick the Steelers, I've kind of been in the same bubble as the Raiders. I'm going Steelers here just because I don't know if Lamar Jackson's going to play. And even if he does, how healthy is he going forward and playing? So this is going to be a good Sunday night game, but I'm going Steelers here. Beagle, who you got?
Yeah, Lamar is definitely a big factor in this. I'm going to roll with the Ravens. Their defense has stepped it up since the acquire of Roquan Smith, and they've been holding teams to under 20 points. Steelers don't really have an amazing offense, so I feel like it's just going to be a low-scoring game right there.
Yes.
Perfect.
What about you, Rio?
Yeah, I'm going to side with Beagle. I'm going to go with the Ravens. What I was reading was that I think they're going to rest Lamar because they got the Bengals next week, and they really need that win. So, but even though he's probably not playing, I just feel like it's going to be a run-heavy game. Like Beagle was saying, low-scoring game. I feel like the Ravens have a little bit better defense, offensive line / running backs than the Steelers. I feel like the Steelers try to air it out a little more, and that's not going to be this game. But it's a good little rivalry. I feel like, divisional. I feel like this is going to be a lot better game than people are thinking.
Very true, very true. And Monday Night Football is the game of the week. Circle that on your calendars. You better be watching it. I don't care how you do it. You better be, because it's the Buffalo Bills playing the Cincinnati Bengals. Potentially an AFC championship game, depending on where they all line up. I'm not, we haven't figured it out just yet. But that would be a good AFC championship game. Now, with that being said, oh man, the Bills have a great defense. Josh Allen's playing great this year. They are in Cincinnati. The Bengals are playing better now, later in the year. I'm going to say it, and it's like I said it the week before. Losing Von Miller is going to hurt the Bills more than they realize, and that's why I'm going to go Bengals here, because Houday, we're riding with Joe Burrow, and they better be wearing their white color scheme jerseys either now or in the playoffs, because they go so hard. But, Rio, who do you got here?
That's a good pick, man. And, he steps it up. I know that he has an incredible record versus Patty Mahomes. Burrow does step it up, man. I just feel like the Bills got a lot more convincing wins as of recent. They beat the Dolphins a few weeks ago. I'm going to go with the Bills on this one.
No, definitely not a bad pick. I mean, if this game can go either way. Who do you got here, Beagle? Let us know. You're the final decision.
Well, this is definitely a great matchup for a Monday night game. I love it. I like what you said earlier about possible AFC championship. I feel like this is a really good possibility and make a great game. It's all just going to depend on how the Jamar Chase does against this defense. I'm going to roll with the Bills on this one. I feel like Josh Allen's been getting dominant all year.
Absolutely. I think that game is going to be the dogfight. That's the game of the week. I'm going to circle it again circled like 3 times now just because that's how hyped I am for this game. But this is going to be an exciting week. Week 17 is going to be fun to watch because depending on what happens, that means week 18 can be even more spectacular. So we're excited. Play of football is right around the corner. I can smell it in the air, which is just a great sign. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. Give your comments, your picks below. We'll keep updating you on our records. And until week 18, next Wednesday, we'll see you then.